Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We're ready to begin our afternoon session with our keynote speaker. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Commissioner of Housing, Yvonne Klein.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be with you here today. And so for the past 5 years, I've often had the privilege of introducing Governor Malloy at events like today's. I am honored to do so again, perhaps for the last time in both of our official capacities in state government. Thank you for this opportunity. Leave the world a better place for having lived in it are the words that have guided Governor Malloy throughout his over 30-year career in public service. It is the touchstone that has given him the courage to consistently choose to do what is morally right, compassionate, and reasonable over the politically expedient. He goes about his day compelled to act on behalf of and for the well-being of the many, rather than for the political benefit of himself. He doesn't read the polls. He doesn't take action to influence the next news cycle or blow with the political winds. He leads. He leads with courage and steadfast resolve. One need look no further than the Department of Housing to see how his commitment to helping others by creating hope where none had previously existed and opening the doors literally to opportunity, a sense of community, safety, security, a home, has benefited so many. Governor Malloy uniquely unites a vision with the know-how to make things happen, not just statewide, but city by city, town by town, neighborhood by neighborhood, community by community, family by family. He set out to end homelessness in Connecticut, and over the past 4 years, we've seen a 69% drop in chronic homelessness and a 25% decrease overall since the first time we counted. Connecticut, once the laggard in this area, has emerged as a model for other states. This is how Connecticut ended veteran homelessness in 2016. It's how we were able to invest nearly $1.5 billion into building, preserving, and rehabilitating over 24,000 units of housing. The vast majority, it's affordable. It's how we've created more inclusive, vibrant communities. It is because of Governor Malloy's leadership, vision, and determination, and yes, the belief in our ability to achieve what many believe to be impossible. We are in a better place today and will be for generations. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Governor Daniel Malloy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, you're busy people. Sit down. Listen, a couple of quick things. People, asked me why I wasn't running for re-election, and it's not because of my dismal popularity numbers. I just didn't want to live through another name change at this hotel. So it's great to be with everyone. You're all close to my heart. Having a calling in life is a great reward. And the better the calling, the more serious the calling, the greater the dedication, I think, honestly, is even a greater reward. We don't have much we can do in life on an individual basis, but on a collective basis, we can do a lot. And in the housing arena, I'm proud to say I don't have to take a back seat to any other governor, and Connecticut doesn't have to take a back seat to any other state. And if the public knew what the implications were of what we've accomplished, then we would be better understood. Let me be very clear. Our high school graduation rate wouldn't be the highest it's ever been, and we wouldn't have had 7 years of increasing graduation after 6 years of declining graduation rates unless we had done something about housing. We wouldn't have lower crime. We wouldn't have lower crime in our major cities. We wouldn't have gone in 2012 from the 18th safest state in the nation to a few years later the 5th safest state in the nation without having done something about housing. And that's what you did as well. We would not now be in a position to attract people to our urban environments without having done something about housing. These things are interconnected with the issues I've just mentioned and so many more. We paid a dramatic price in the state of Connecticut for our failure to have invested in housing over the prior 20 or so years. It's taken us a long time to dig our way out of that. I would argue that 25,000 units of housing is only a beginning, not an end point. And I certainly hope that whoever is the next governor understands that. In this particular coalition, and I know I've spoken to some of you, you've had to sit through other lunches with me, I apologize for that, but in this particular coalition, to have everybody involved, to have people who have to finance these deals, and to have people who actually go out and build them, whether or not for profit or profit, to have folks who have to generate the ideas or fight the zoning that exists in some of our communities, wrongly exists in some of our communities, is a great way for us to recharge our batteries and become even more committed to this issue. Ending chronic homelessness, ending veterans' homelessness are extremely important. No veteran should have to live under a bridge. No family should suffer from chronic homelessness. These are important issues, and no child rejected by their parents or their community because of their activities, because of their gender identification. No kid should be homeless either, and we need to do more about that. So let's be very clear that we have a job to do in the not-too-distant future. In many cases, we've brought the legislature along kicking and screaming. We've brought people who oppose housing in their community at least to a tolerance point where they won't protest it being built in somebody else's. We've been roundly criticized when we go to the bond commission for building housing. But that's by people who don't understand how interconnected we all are. That crime or education or job opportunity or job attraction is all dependent upon how our communities are doing, and our communities are dependent on making sure that people who work in a community should also have a right to live in that community. And that's where we're dragging. We're not there yet in Connecticut. Everybody wants wonderful people to work at a hotel or at a nursing home or at a school or to be a young fireman or policeman or social worker in their community. But they stop there because they advocate not having that same individual live in their community, because they live a different style, because they're more likely to occupy an apartment than a single-family house, because maybe you have to change your assumptions about what should be above a store on your main street, or how high a building should be to make it cost-effective to build that housing. This is a battle that we have to be engaged in on a daily basis with our fellow citizens so that they understand that interconnectedness, so that Connecticut can compete, not just by its cities, but by a broader cross-section of its communities. And housing has to be part of that equation. We have to educate the legislature. We have to educate zoning boards. We have to educate folks who have the purse strings. We have to educate the next governor. Whoever is elected governor, they need to be educated about this issue because they're not coming from where I started as a mayor, understanding that significance as well. So I just want to say that. And then finally, I want to thank the commissioner. I think it was the right thing when we decided that one of the reasons Connecticut had fallen so far behind in the development of housing was that we did not have a central force to argue the case of housing. And recreating a housing department was one of the key things we did on a policy basis in Connecticut. So I want to thank Yvonne, and I want to thank the talented team that she's attracted, and I want to thank the folks who have worked on these issues, the quasi-agencies as well. And then most important, I want to thank you. You probably don't get thanked all that much, you know. Maybe there's a poinsettia at Christmas or you know, chocolates at a closing or something. But the reality is, and I'll go back to where I began. You have a calling. You understand the interconnectedness. You understand that a state can't move forward unless all its people move forward. And our large communities can't move forward unless everyone in the community moves forward. And quite frankly, in our smaller communities, we can't move forward unless all of our fellow citizens and residents move forward. Making sure that people have a great place to live, that fosters an educative process for children, that's safe and clean and has the services associated with it that are necessary for it to be successful in the community in which it is associated is very important. I am here to thank you, not the other way around. You've been the champions. You've gotten the job done. You've been our partner, and I just want to say thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Please remain standing for 1 minuto. On behalf of the Connecticut Housing Coalition, residents, stakeholders, a complete thanks and gratitude for lifting affordable housing in the state of Connecticut to not only a platform issue, but something that we will enjoy educating the new governor and the new legislature on. So thank you for your leadership. And to recognize Governor Dan Malloy for unsurpassed effort to improve access to affordable housing for all Connecticut residents. Excellence in Housing Leadership Award, September 26, 2018. Thank you.
You got wonderful people working here who want to serve you. Hey, listen, I just want to thank you for spelling my name right. You try having the name Daniel sometime. It's not easy. And I do have to leave before they change the name of the hotel, so I apologize about that. But I really, this is very meaningful as our partnership has been over the last 8 years. Thank you very much.